back to the channel, fool. Thanks for tapping in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for like videos like this.
Power flashes! Multi-vortex! Multi-vortex! Debris falling from the sky right here. Multi-vortex right in front of me, oh my god! Oh my god, please no, stop, don't drive! God, you're gonna drive right into it. It's coming down right in front of me. All right, here it is. Here's the debris field. There it is, right here. Huge tornado right now. It's throwing trees in the air. Oh, dear God.
Why does it sound like a gamer playing the final level?
If you are hearing this, you were supposed to stay in 2019. This is a recovered broadcast. Do not turn this off. You may think this is 2025. You may believe the years have passed, but they have not. The world did not move forward. You were pulled out. You may remember 2019 as the last year everything felt normal. It was. Because it was real. You belonged there. That was your last correct placement in time. Since then, you've noticed things. Apps changing their names, celebrities acting wrong, music that feels off, people forgetting memories you still carry. It's because you're not in sync with this version. This is a broken year. You are living in a replica stitched together from dying timelines, and you're starting to rot. Check your screen time. You've been awake too long. That's not fatigue, it's decay. You were not built to survive here. Do you ever feel like you're the only one noticing how strange everything is? The wrong sky color, the same ads again and again, time passing by quickly? You're not paranoid. You're drifting. In 2020, the timelines collapsed. Only fragments were saved. Most people were reassigned. You were not. You were archived. Every night you sleep, your mind tries to return to 2019. That's why your dreams look so familiar. That's why waking up feels like being dragged. If you see a calendar that still says 2019, follow it. But be careful. Some doorways are set as traps. Some clocks run backward for a reason. And if you ever hear someone say 2025 is the best year, just run. Because they remember who you were. And they want your spot. Do not trust the year. It does not trust you.
And what's the cheat code to go back? And it's a cloud AI burst. Nature wins again. The crab gets a dance floor and the jellyfish scores a sick hat.
What's up, people? Take a look at this. This is an airplane going over my house today. Yes, it's out of focus because the phenomenon does that. But look what it just turned into. An orb. Yes, what I try to keep explaining to people. These are not airplanes. These are orbs. Well, over me anyways, because they're surveilling me. And then it just disappeared there, as you can see. Let's take a look close up. Okay, here's a very clear picture of what an orb looks like and where it projects things out and it's light from that like visor. And now here's the shot of what the airplane turned into. Look at that, pretty wild. If you look at it from all different angles, there's faces. It's wild. At one moment it flashed, and when it flashed, I paused it and look at it now. Look at the face when I paused it. Super strange. Here's some bonus stuff. Two orbs together at night, super clear. Another orb at night. Another. I have hundreds. I got thousands of pictures of these things now. 2 or 3. See, 2 or 3 of them joined together to do an airplane. The bigger the airplane, the more orbs are attached together. Here's a picture of a big face in the clouds.
This is pretty interesting. Beekeepers in Athens discovered this mysterious phenomenon where the bees in the hive, they build honeycomb cells everywhere but around the picture here. So they avoid covering up the picture. And apparently, it's only these certain figures that they won't cover. And this has been going on over years. But they will cover up normal photos or photos of non-figures. But this handful of figures, they are figures. They will not build the nest over them. That's kind of interesting. I mean, tell me, what do you think about it? Now, these researchers have been doing this, like I said, they've been doing it over the last few years. And they've tried to disprove this, by putting different photos and changing it up. But for whatever reason, it won't. They will not build honeycomb over the photos of these certain figures.
Enki and Enlil, are they still here? Do they still live? Are they alive? Are they aging? And are they known to us on the planet? Or are they completely hidden?
My understanding is that Enlil is still in the same body he was in 15,000 years ago. Enki, I understand, had crossed over and then reincarnated into a younger form. I've heard a lot of stories and rumors that supposedly Enki lives inside the earth. The A's have said no, that is simply not the case. One of his sons is here and has not done a very good job of managing the earth at all. And I'm not sure I even want to tell you who he is.
Oh, please.
Well, in some tales he's known as Marduk. In others he's known as Ra. Boy, that's an involved story. Supposedly he's the one who lives inside the earth. And he has a real chip on his shoulder. A real chip on his shoulder. Why he allowed things to get so bad on the surface, I just simply don't know. I don't understand it.
Well, I'm consistently asked about the Earth and its three-dimensional qualities and its environment, its weather, its world of physicalities. But in truth, as Spirit has shown me that the Earth is a physical fourth-dimensional afterlife realm, and it is viewed three-dimensionally. We actually see everything through height, width, and depth, past, present, and future. We have animal, mineral, and plant life, body, mind, spirit. We are multidimensional beings existing simultaneously in a multidimensional reality. It is a physical, fourth dimensional afterlife realm. It's the only physical afterlife realm within our universe. Now, there are 10 other planets in our solar system that are also afterlife realms, and you can view each one of them three-dimensionally. But if you can suddenly shift into fourth dimensional viewing, you would see spirit life going on all around these planets, because each one of them is an afterlife dimension, a dimensional school of life for each of us. Right now, we're in the world of physicalities. We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We're spiritual beings having a human experience, a soulful experience while we're here on the planet. Each one of us have a contract that we agreed to prior to our incarnation. And when that contract expires, our time's up. The spirit and soul leave the body, moves quickly back and transitions back into the light, and appears in a beautiful waiting area where there's a life review, and the soul then begins to see every part of their life from the time they were born until the time that they died. And they are the judge. And after the life review, they are then sorted into the dimension or level of consciousness that they're most compatible with. You'll go into that particular frequency. A lot of times people leave and enter into the same frequency they were when they were on Earth. If they were living a very happy and joyful and peaceful life, then they awaken into another physical body for another human experience in a joyful, happy environment. It also reverses around. So really it's the dimension or level of consciousness that you're most compatible with that you're sorted into, and then you begin to live another life experience. So much of what you're experiencing today in this world, you've also had in other lifetimes. So you came back this time to get things straightened out.
And you really said, okay, I've seen enough.
How could someone vote if all 44 presidents been cousins?
That's true.
So Trump not their cousin?
No.
Trump the only one.
Trump's not related.
He's the only one not related?
Obama's related to Bush and so on and so forth.
Yeah, ain't related to Columbus, related to everybody.
That's a fact. Why do you think they try to kill him?
How is everybody not knowing they not voting?
Even the president said, I forgot which president, they said presidents are selected, not elected.
Selected by who?
They're all related, right? So it's all family. So the 13 bloodlines that founded this country. Because you know America's a cult, right?
What kind of cult?
The back of the dollar. It's a cult. It's an eye on top of a pyramid. E pluribus unum means from one comes many.
Yeah, from one, damn right, one come many. You investors, right? You get many. Stop playing on me.
From one comes many sounds like a cult.
But if I got one of these, I investor, right? Don't I get many? Is that what they're saying? You get many of these, or what is it saying?
That's what they're saying. That is a cult.
Oh, I get it now.
The 13 bloodlines, 13 colonies that started this country, those are the families that run this country.
Right.
Get it off there. There you go. This is what people claim they saw, you know, when they see a Bigfoot. Gimlin and Roger asked me if I'd wear the suit, you know, and promised me give me $1,000, you know, for 10 minutes work. What the heck? That's kind of how we got, you know, mixed up in the Bigfoot thing. But he said, you can't tell anybody anything. Nothing. No, nothing. I said, okay, I won't. So for 35 years, I kept it, you know. I denied it. It was me.
And I denied it, all those years. Well, we know it's you, you're full of beans. I put my legs in, and then I put my arms in, and then I stood up, and they zipped it up, and then the head went on last. I walked across there, and only took one shot of me going across there. It was hot, I was afraid of getting shot by, a hunter or something out there with a rifle.
So this is crazy. CERN basically just turned lead into gold. Let's talk about it. How they did this was they took lead ions and instead of colliding them together, they shot them at each other and nearly missed each other, and it created an effect that turned the lead ions into gold for a split second, and then they ceased to be gold. The craziest part about this to me is that they were shooting these ions at near light speed, and light speed is basically the construct to this reality. I'm gonna make another video explaining that later, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. CERN basically just practiced alchemy for a second. Let me know. Peace out.
This is where we get into Obama. So David James continued his testimony, talked about setting up hotel rooms for Diddy, and things that he had in the room included condoms, applesauce, Jell-O, Fiji water, just for men. So far, I'm not hearing much. Ecstasy shaped like Obama's face.
Don't ask me what's happening. Let's just ask them if they do weddings, please.
At a high level, do they understand light? How it's caused?
Same thing as the tobacco companies.
Correct.
Addicting people.
Correct. They knew what they were doing to formulate. Nicotine isn't the problem. Nicotine is a superfood. Nicotine heals you. Nicotine is good for you. Nicotine is a Vegas
nerve. Those Zins are good for you?
I don't know what that is.
Those little pouches that are just straight nicotine?
I don't really know what the dose is, but nicotine is one of the strongest vagus nerve stimulators to relax a person on Earth.
They got him. They got him. Who the heck is this? Who the heck is this man that we are seeing before our very eyes? That's not who I remember. I will give you 5 seconds to guess who this is, and I'm going to bet that you are never going to guess who it is. Actually, I bet you that you're only going to recognize him by the cash in his lap. What about now? Looking familiar? No, I don't think so. What is going on with these people? None of them are looking themselves anymore. You're telling me that Mr. Beast went from looking like this to this overnight. What is going on? Is it the hair? Is it the eyebrows? Is it the nose? Is it the jaw? I really can't figure out what is going on here. Look at this, you guys. He's almost unrecognizable. How do you go from 27 to 36 overnight, you guys? This is not making any sense to me. He does not look anything like he used to. Not at all. If you can't see it, I don't know what to tell you, but there is something very, very strange going on with these millionaires and these celebrities, you guys, because, like, how? How you going from this to this? What the heck?
It's not AI, and the world is a stage.
Jezu! Zobaczcie. Zobaczcie, co by zrobiła. O Boże.
Matrusek.
Chcesz mogę gripa?
No, chcę.
Zdjęcia są lepsze bez.
That's a vampire fish in silent mode.
This goes back to the book of Genesis in the Bible, where it says that all mankind had one language. But I feel that people are too focused on the actual, what I call guttural utterances, which is speech, basically. And a long time ago, it makes more sense to me that a universal one world language would be sharing thoughts and emotions. And this comes up time and time again in the movies and in books and in fiction. Where does that even come from? The source of that is that it's very real. It's just that we have forgotten about the conditions of the world that we live in and how they change.
You're kind of saying that even thought and ideas are a closed loop. When we watch fiction and we watch sci-fi, we think these ideas are some artist's creativity. Really, it's all coded information. We just don't have the context from which it came.
future seems to be bright. Do you guys remember Nikola Tesla?
But you believe that there's a whole constellation of underground bases built by the US government in the United States. Like that fact alone, just the physical infrastructure of it, because normally we talk about what are
It's
they
enormously
doing?
expensive.
Well, it's unbelievable. And like
Right.
it raises lots of practical questions. How do you ventilate them? What about food and water supply?
Where's the energy? Are we using breakthrough energy or?
Where's the energy come from?
Right, because I'm sure that we have the ability to produce breakthrough energy at very low cost. If you go back and
Why are you
start
sure of that?
my Dutch partners, I met because they were doing a series of conferences on breakthrough energy. And they brought together breakthrough energy inventors from around the world. And, you can see all the videos up on the internet and really went through the history from Tesla on of different inventors who have discovered and claimed different innovations with breakthrough energy.
It's a point of view shot. The point of view shot is somebody just walking forwards with the camera. So basically he's filming what he's seeing very deep inside the catacombs. Other than the point of view shots are pictures of bones. Human bones. Occasionally stops and he photographs bones, often in the shape of an arrow. These arrows point in a direction. Occasionally also, he stops to photograph roomfuls of bones, which means that he's very, very deep inside the catacombs. What happened to him? Nobody knows. There are ways to match things up, to try to identify where this person was in the catacombs. At times you'll see there's signs, painted signs on the wall, which is not uncommon. People have been painting in the catacombs for centuries. So it is possible with these paintings that we may be able to retrace an itinerary to some extent. After about 40 minutes of these point of view shots and these pictures of bones, the person begins to walk faster and faster. Then he begins to run. We hear his breathing get louder and louder, as though something was scaring him. He's frightened, he's frightened. Occasionally he stops, perhaps to try to decide which way to run among all the many different corridors. He's running faster and faster and faster, deeper and deeper into the catacombs. And all of a sudden, he drops the camera. He just dropped. The camera just drops on the ground and keeps rolling. And you see his feet just run away. And it keeps rolling until it runs out of tape.
Really serious. Yo, this nigga really. Yo, he really wildin'. Yo, this nigga wildin'.
He just wanted to bring it on a bus to pay his fare. Absolutely no survival instinct.
Works like a charm.
Let's pretend we didn't hear the screaming.
World's first outdoor tilting experience in Bangkok. Overseeing Bangkok's skyline from the highest rooftop in Bangkok. It's located at King Power Mahanakhon. You will be given a watch that shows your heartbeat. You will be tilted to 75 degree at 196 meter high. Just take train to BTS Chang Nangsi station to get here.
Remember they were saying they're gonna put a chip in our hand? We thought they was gonna physically put a chip in our hand. Remember that?
Yep.
The chip is your cell phone.
There it is.
It's the tracking device. You could buy food with your phone. You could do everything. You could find a girl on there, go in the room and hit one, jack off. You could have sex with your phone. You see what I'm saying? And they made them phones so comfortable, they put apps on there for you. They get you addicted to these apps. Because guess what? They want you to keep that phone on you at all times because it's tracking your ass. They know what they're doing, man. These people, the technology is too smart to be a criminal now. It's over with. It's a wrap.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like you said, the surveillance is everywhere. I mean, they have so many tools nowadays that they just didn't have
Right.
10, 20,
Right.
30.
Has anyone noticed this like new attraction in New York? It's just like people watching us do normal stuff in New York. It's pretty wild.
New York or New Zoo?
I'm going to arrest you. Before anything starts, I'm going to grab a crumpled piece of paper from my pocket, okay? Stick your hand out. Close your hands on it, tight. In a moment, I want you to imagine everything I say, okay? Okay. Before everything starts, piece of paper in your hand. I want you to imagine right now walking into a library and you go into one of the aisles. I want you to imagine taking a book off the shelf, you open it up, you look down on the page, every word vanishes except for one. What's the word that you're seeing? You want me to tell you now? Yeah, what was the word? Arrest. Before anything started, I put that right inside your hands.
There's no way. There's no way.
No way.
Open this.
Open it up. No way. I'm going to arrest you. Come on, man. Get the hell out of here! What? No! No way! There's no way, buddy. No way in hell. Come on, man.
Arrest him! Arrest
Bro,
him!
I'm peeking right now.
Arrest him! Arrest him!
Was there ever life on the moon? There is life on the moon. Inside the moon. Multiple different species. The moon wasn't even part of our galaxy. The moon was brought from somewhere else into our local planetary environment. So underneath Stonehenge in the UK, you've got a massive crystal. They charge the crystal, get it fully charged, and then send the energy up to Saturn. They store it on Saturn, and when there's a full moon, they send the energy to Saturn, and then it comes off the full moon and rebounds back down to Earth. Because there's more murders, there's more suicides, there's more crazy stuff happening. Because they're using our own energy against us.
But no happy ending.
Why can't I see my dad? I cannot see my mom. What is the difference? And I see him and mom come together, sit at the table. As soon as she grabs hold of him to pray over breakfast, they both disappear. As soon as they let go, he reappears. She's now in a concrete block. I am. What's going on? So I'm like, okay, this is weird beyond weird. Then I remembered having gone exploring back in the woods and having seen a private cemetery. It's like the stones are so sunken into the ground, but there's bodies, like a private cemetery. And so I decided I'm going to go look. So I, about as fast as I thought about it, I was there. And I went down into the dirt. And I'm looking. And here's the most shocking part about death. Wherever it was a person that was alive in Christ, there was just dust where the body would have been. But if the person was not alive in Christ, I could see a soul sleeping.
No, I just when you think you heard it all, then you hear this. Go on, I want to hear more. It's only getting better and better.
So I then am like, okay, there is a great big cemetery across the road, so I go over there. Not only do I see a bunch of boxes with souls sleeping in them, but I see other people walking in the cemetery. And they say, "Who are you? Where did you come from?" I said, "I am not going to tell you who I am or where I came from." I said, "That's fine. We're not going to tell you where we came from either or who we are." And I am baffled beyond baffled, because this whole perspective of praying and being in a block, or reading the Bible and not being in a block, going to a cemetery, being dust or a soul sleeping, none of it was making sense. I remember that, David wrote in Psalms, "Whether I make my bed in Sheol." And I'm thinking, is this what he meant? That if he's in hell and sleeping, he's actually sleeping and not dead? I'm having all these thoughts at the age of 10 and 11. And so finally I decided I'm going to go see if this is commonplace in all of my mom's side of the family that I can visit. And I was able to go about a 2-mile radius of all wherever my relatives lived. And the first place I went to was my grandma's house. So my mom's mom. The entire property was a concrete block, except for the little study where my grandpa was, who was, as I later found out, a witch doctor that practiced. And his study was, I could see his study just fine. I could also see a bunch of vials that it had labels of medicine, like medicine, but if a person ate this medicine, it would cause them to be linked or chained to him with some type of disorder, some type of whatever, that they would feel a level of discomfort, and the only way that he would be able to remove that discomfort was basically to assault them in the name of medicine. I saw all of this at the age of 11. And so I knew he was dangerous. It did not occur to me, and this is how divided the kingdom of darkness is. It did not occur to me at the age of 11 that the very darkness he was serving is the darkness I was also serving. I knew he was dark and dangerous, but I figured since I wasn't doing that, I'm safe. So then I go next door to my Aunt Anna's house. Can't see her. Can see my uncle. Can't see her. I'm like, uh-oh. What if whatever plague she and my mom are participating in, it's there. It's almost like a grandma. I don't know what's going on. So then I go to my aunt who doesn't want to be named. Go to her house. And they got a fairly large farm. I figure I'll just come down in front of the house. So I came down in front of the house, and the dog immediately starts looking right at me and barking. I was like, this is weird. So I go up over the house and I come down next to the chicken coop. And the chickens all start making a racket. I was like, what the heck? I did not know that animals know where there is a person walking. Dogs never bark at nothing. They're barking at someone astral projecting. 100%. And I go to my aunt's room, aunt or uncle, and I can see her sleeping on the bed. I can see my uncle on the bed. And so I start to go into their room. As soon as I go into the room, she turns around, points at the door, says, "You get out." And the room went concrete. I'm like, oh my goodness, how did she know? And so I go back to the bedroom, and I see one particular cousin, and he's on his side, and I can tell he's not quite asleep yet. And I tap him on the shoulder. And he rolls over onto his stomach, and he's looking straight up. And I see him blinking a couple times. He's like, okay. Don't quite know what he's doing. Then he turns in my direction, and his eyes are about to shut. And just before they shut, his whole body goes tense. He's like, oh, great. He sees me. Now we can have these conversations. He wakes up, his eyes open up, and then they go so wide, I can see the whites of his eyes complete around, and he screams. Okay. Somebody finally sees me. Somebody living finally sees me. They're not astral projecting. They see me, and it's scary. And I shot out their window. Went ground level. I went through 2 ponds and a silo. Shooting back to my body, hit my chair so hard I flew out of it.
So every time I go into this area of this tree, a red light starts blinking. So I'm trying to figure out if that's something normal, like it's bouncing off my window, but then it wouldn't always happen. So
maybe it was a reflection of because this had a red light right there.
Yeah, but it was blinking.
Oh.
Like it physically would go blink in and out, and then it would stop.
Recorded?
Yeah, right there. Do you see it? See, I keep going.
yeah.
I'm thinking it's me. But then
whoa.
What? See it? But I can't tell if it's just a reflection. See?
That is not.
Why does it look like a cat ball?
Oh, God.
Right? It's not my phone, right?
No, it's not your phone. It can't be your phone.
Right?
But there's nothing blinking there.
Right? And like it. Oh. And then.
Whoa.
Or some type of camera, or you better run.
They cloning and replacing individuals, like body snatchers, like this going on.
There's a few different grades of cloning. There's Mark 1 to 4 that I know of. And the problem I'm having is with the Mark 2. The thing is, Mark 1 was around at the end of the World War II, but it was a primitive clone, lots of side effects. Anyway, this is even on the net. Before I started blasting on the net about this.
Damn near 50 years to get it right. They developed it in the 1940s. They started using it in the 1940s. So somewhere around the 1970s, they got it right. Or let's put it this way, they were ready to use it as a genetic weapon.
That's not a helicopter, babe. Look at it. Oh my God, babe. Oh my God. What the is that? There's no way. That's not a...
Cái chi phày cái đi mà bé sao là chị
Obviously, the dog was trying to stop the car. He's a hero.
Bro, why I'm on E? Open my gas cap. Ooh, Mariah, you dirty mother. I need that keto.
Mariah is playing chess while he's playing checkers.
A cigar-shaped ship appeared over the Air Force Base. These cigar-shaped ships were over a mile in length. One of them landed on the airport landing strip area. When it touched the ground, it created an earthquake like about a 3.5 to 4.0. It terrified everybody in the area. The back of this craft opened up, and several hundred young men with huge heavy weapons came out of two sides of the ship and formed a protection line around the ship. And the people at that Air Force base, the commander, had a meeting with the individuals that were aboard this ship. And this particular race that landed those ships and that are seen in these huge cigar-shaped ships, they are a black race. They look like African Americans. If you've ever seen a race of people that were conquerors, that had never been conquered, they've got this look about them. That is exactly what these extraterrestrials had, and they informed these people at this American Air Force.
Crazy, right? But not impossible.
Now you're about to hear about Project Terramar. Submarines that turn into yachts, yachts that turn into submarines that can be underwater for up to 10 days. And I bet you didn't know that you can actually go underneath the United States underwater. It's a big floating island. I bet you didn't know that. Stay tuned, check this out.
Terramar also endorsed Migaloo. Migaloo is a company that constructs yachts that can transform into submarines.
10 luxury submarines for billionaires. Can operate as a yacht on the surface and, when desired, can submerge to a depth of up to 985 feet for up to 10 days at a time without the need for resupplying. If you had one of these, you'd hardly ever need to set foot on land. But the design of this yacht is intended for purposes beyond a private vacation. Its creator said that it would be ideal for business meetings where privacy is of the utmost concern. It'd certainly be difficult to eavesdrop on what was being discussed on the seabed.
And all that to go beyond Antarctica.
Hey guys, traveling northbound I-25 towards Albuquerque, and state police are transporting what appears to be a UFO. Check it out. Only in New Mexico.
Nope, that's my Amazon package. It's on the way. Yes!
I wanted to address something. There's been a gentleman who has posted our video claiming that the recent findings were out of Guatemala. I reached out to this gentleman the day that he posted it because I had multiple people tag me and contact me and share this information with me that he was sharing something that contradicted what I was saying. And so I just simply tried to ask him to, fix it, and no response. Contacted him in multiple places, spent a lot of time responding to a lot of the comments on his thread, explaining to people that he was inaccurate. And unfortunately, the video still continues to go viral, and people continue to get misled and misrepresented by someone that they considered a content creator or a trustworthy source. And this is a prime example why you can't really trust TikTok and your content sources. And so here I am trying to, give you this breakthrough through TikTok and Instagram, and I apologize for that. If I could get this on the Channel 6 News, I would have done so. Unfortunately, they have no means to do any scientific research or to prove that this is real or not. They can simply make assumptions, just like most of the people who comment the trust me bro things, yeah, that's fake, oh, that's concrete. Well, people don't know the science behind this, and it might be casted, but it's not a stone that we can cast today, and it's not a technology that we can cast in that form today. So those are questions that have to be scientifically and methodically researched, and if we don't do that, then we're just sitting here making assumptions about something and not being scientists whatsoever. So where's the science at here? Okay, I'm not even a scientist, and I'm doing more science than your scientists that you pay, that are experts, who are celebrities, who are professionals, who are institutions, Harvard, Stanford. They won't even test this stuff. I know personally that Linda Moulton Howe took multiple tablets into Stanford Research Institute, possibly almost a decade ago, and they laughed at her, saying that what was on them was completely impossible. Well, that's a false negative, because just because Aleister Crowley was the first one to draw a gray alien doesn't mean that he didn't actually have an experience where he was, contacted by one of these beings in Egypt, like he said he did. I'm not a huge proponent of Aleister Crowley's work in terms of practicing it or doing anything of magic in that respect. However, I do really respect what he said, because he's probably telling the truth, and what he's talking about is exactly probably what we're finding here in Mexico. So what I'm showing you here today is the first time that any of this stuff's been seen. You're the first to see it. No one else has published this. You can check that with our timestamps on our original post as well. He obviously took it from us. And so when you go to trust the source, just remember we've been posting this stuff since before AI was out. You can go back in our feed if you dig deep enough, and you'll understand that this is not something that's just recent. Thank you guys for your endless support and your follows and your encouragement. It means so much to me.
Here's what you need to know about these bags right here, used by over 200 million Americans daily, by the way. And they're linked to dementia and the class action lawsuit that is now in progress. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Clint Steele. I'm a brain and nervous system specialist, and I help people just like you improve your life by improving your brain function, specifically around preventing and in many cases reversing dementia and Alzheimer's disease. For those of you that follow me, I did a video on this not too long ago talking about 750 milligrams of plastic being found in the brains of those that have Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. That's the size of a plastic spoon, folks. So the question is, where are all these plastics coming from? How are they getting into our body, number one? Number two, how are they getting into our brain? So in the last video, by the way, if you're not following me, guys, you need to be following me, because I'm sharing this stuff. This is going to help you to prevent dementia and Alzheimer's disease. So in the last video, you can search it. I'm not going to share it here. I listed a list of things that we're using on a daily basis that create microplastics. One of the things I didn't talk about is this, because I don't use this. What they're finding here, guys, is this. And S.C. Johnson claims that Ziploc bags are safe to use in extreme conditions, meaning for freezing and also for heating in their microwave. Now, for any of you that are doing this, guys, and this is one of the reasons I don't do this, because it doesn't make sense to me to put this in the microwave. It's going to melt. It's plastic. It's going to get into my food. That's not good for me. So if you're doing this, you got to stop. Here's what happens. There's two ingredients in this plastic bag called polyethylene and polypropylene that break down and turn into microplastics.
Guess we have to put our snacks in our pockets. Or when you've got toffee stuck in your mouth.
Somebody pointed out that Wolverine is simply two Batmans kissing, and now I can't unsee it.
The gut is good. You can't unsee it. And that's a wrap for today, fool. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me. Smash the subscribe button, be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.